Hey everybody, back with a new episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Last episode, many things happened, and we met the new director, who is an Inhuman. I mean, that enough was a gag, but to know that this was Phil's idea, and because S.H.I.E.L.D. is about to be public again, he is the face of the operation, but is trying to legitimately run it and kind of taking the reins away from Phil, which I don't love. We'll see how that goes, but then we have May is just doing terribly because she's been touched by the ghost or whatever that means and is kind of losing her mind. We have seen from other people what it does, and she's going to start hurting herself and anyone around her. So she's detained at the moment. Daisy is working with Robbie, which I am pro. He thinks he is linked into these ghosts in some way. I just can't figure out what the link is between the Darkhold, which was big shocker, between that and then the machine they use, and then how Ghost Rider fits into that. But there is a mysticism that I wasn't really prepared for, but this is Marvel. We deal with wizards and sorcerers, and it's a thing, and maybe even the devil himself. I don't know if it's actually Mephisto, but I'm all very intrigued by it. And I like Daisy and Robbie working together. I think they might help each other out. I don't know exactly how. Daisy spoke to Mac and Fitz for a little bit, and Mac knows that Yo-Yo is the one that's been helping her, so that did not make him happy. I don't know how we heal from this. I don't know what's going to bring. I think maybe Robbie is going to help her realize where she needs to be. Because what if she starts caring about Robbie? If they're partners, she wants nothing to lose, but it's very easy to start having attachments to people that you're around and you end up caring about them. So we'll see how it all goes. Then we've got the Radcliffe of it all. I don't know where that fits into all of this, but things are so disjointed right now, and it feels very disorienting a bit. Not because they're not telling it well, they are. I am being pulled in by everything they're setting up. It's just the picture is very unclear right now. This next episode being called Uprising, I don't really know what that would be in reference to, unless it's like a Watch Dogs thing or an explanation for how that lady got her hands on the Darkhold, how they became ghosts, what it has to do with that phasing machine, if that's even what that is. Maybe it'll touch on Hydra, especially if the S.H.I.E.L.D. publicity is about to, go live. I don't know. Could be anything. But I'm excited to keep going, so let's get into it.
Yo-Yo.
Maria. It's not a good time.
Where are you? Yo-Yo. Where are you?
I don't know who did that. Oh my. Oh, it's more than a blackout.
Do we have your attention now? The blackout in Miami was just the first. We are the Inhuman resistance.
Oh,
we will no longer allow
God.
us to be treated as freaks and criminals unless the governments of the world end registration and allow us to live in peace. We will use our powers to fight.
Oh.
We're only a month away from reintroducing S.H.I.E.L.D. to the public.
People's lives could be at stake, and you're worried about bad publicity?
away.
Who the hell are you anyway?
That's Burroughs from Public Relations. It's his job to worry about bad publicity. So let's just take a beat, calm down. Team divided is a team defeated, right?
Oh
right?
my God, these platitudes.
We have an Inhuman asset in Miami.
Ted.
He's gone.
Ah! No!
What just happened?
Exactly what's going to happen to May within the
Yeah.
next 24 hours.
20
The
ah!
CDC's at a dead end unless we take some kind of drastic measure.
I'm going with
I
her.
need May's
Negative.
right.
You're going to Miami. You're the best agent I have to deal with the Inhumans. If this blackout is legitimate and there are more to come, we could have a huge international problem on our hands.
You could really use Daisy right now.
It's the call you'd make if you were in my shoes.
This agent May is very ill and it doesn't look good.
Oh.
Define Snappy Cat.
You're our
It's-
drastic measure.
Not worth defining.
They're here.
This is never going to get approved if you've done it all in secrecy. What is she powered by?
Do you think this is for real? They're organizing an uprising?
Doesn't look good. It also doesn't feel right.
Whoever it is will flush them out when we turn Miami back on. They're definitely
is
using
it?
EMP devices.
Every other vehicle's dead.
Not his.
Phone's dead too. Going through this car is pre-1980. No electronics.
Yeah. One good thing.
Inhumans would never do this.
Isn't that what you are? It only takes one to
Do
start
we
a
think that the
revolution.
Inhumans are being set up?
I thought that if I settled the score, took down the gangbangers that put Gabe in a wheelchair, it would go away. It didn't happen. So I started settling other people's scores. Figured if I settled my uncle's score,
Your uncle. Don't think he was the victim of
That's
that
why he took the
situation.
picture.
he always said the guy he beat up was the real criminal.
Mistake.
Even better.
You don't want this smoke.
I wouldn't touch it if I were you. Owner's a bit of a hothead. She runs a little hot.
Oh, damn. Oh! Shit. She's gonna stop.
We're not here for your money.
You're here for
We're here for
Jojo?
the Inhuman.
Why?
Putting her in a state of extreme fight or flight.
Well, what can you do about
I'm
it?
scared to death.
Precisely.
It's your duty to turn it in.
Esto está ridículo.
It is.
If one
Like,
of those freaks of nature was here,
Oh.
I don't know.
They're people too.
why are they trying to
Deserve
call
to
out
be here as much
Inhumans?
as
I
we
thought
do.
they're like
Are you
against
serious?
registration.
Is this what Ellie did to you?
I think I know who it is. Calls himself the Amazing Merc. He was doing
Oh,
all
come
kinds of
on, he's a
weird
magician.
stuff earlier. Claims it's a gift.
What the hell happened?
Oh, we must have got hit with another EMP pulse. We've crossed into the blackout zone.
Can I get some help here?
Oh, his hand is stuck. Ah!
That's worthless. You know, it's a good light source. Guy with a flaming head.
I'm really bummed I missed that.
No, you're not.
Sir, it was quite unsettling.
Gabe doesn't know about the night job. And he never will, understood?
You got it.
Let's see if you can make a bullet disappear.
Yo, yo.
Now you see it.
Now you don't. Ah, yes.
No. Elena, how did you? Get away.
Really?
It's her. She has the gun.
Oh, that's so fucked. Hey, you found them. Get in there, Phil. Okay, Fitz. I mean, we know. We know Max got it. You sure? You sure? Come on, Radcliffe. Make me like you.
Solve all our problems.
How? What is it?
We're gonna have to kill her.
Excuse me. That won't do it.
This isn't the Inhumans, it's a setup. They're being hunted.
By whom?
And guess who's doing the hunting?
Who is that? Is that the watchdogs? Fucking watchdogs?
This was an orchestrated worldwide attack. Their turf has always been domestic.
Yeah. Who's backing them?
This is what I was afraid of.
This is from the Inhuman registration list.
And every time an asset's on the move, it's automatically updated. That's how they knew she was here.
Well, no matter how
See,
fast
this
security
is why
system
you
will
don't
disappear.
fucking register.
Lists, weapons, meds.
Or did any of you guys go to the scouts for making compasses? Oh, come on, it's rudimentary science.
Right, you ready?
Hell no, I'm not ready. We're about to kill May.
Oh my God.
We're about to save May.
You better. Quick work. No, they're not actually going to shock that, right? You can't shock no rhythm.
EMP releases a pulse every 2 seconds.
I
And
hope
for
that's not
one
what they're
moment,
doing.
it
That's
becomes
bad
magnetic
science.
north, causing your needles to move a few degrees in that direction.
Oh!
What the hell happened?
Oh, no. You better get that popping.
I don't understand. The backup generator should have kicked in.
Huh?
Oh, God, that's not good.
You got some adrenaline? Shit! Oh, the worst timing.
Just give me 1 more hour. Agent Coulson and his
Y'all
team are on the
need to
case.
use y'all's PR
Thank you,
to
sir.
make sure who's really behind this is blamed
President wants
for
to
it.
send troops into the blackout zones.
No.
Take out the Inhumans by any
No.
We need ice. We need to keep her cold.
That's really not... I mean, at this point,
Radcliffe, get moving.
jumpstart a battery or...
Ada. No wonder they showed her power source. No, keep going. Keep going. Pump her heart. Keep going. Go. Well, I guess it's necessary that Ada is a thing because we really need this. Although,
Come on, May.
this is
Wake up.
cannot shock
Wake up.
a no
Wake
rhythm. Oh boy.
Get this crap off of me.
Oh, she's back. Let's go.
Welcome back, Agent May.
So many people looking for an excuse to hate.
Spreading. Passports, visas. Somebody's taking the watchdogs global.
Who? Whom?
Yeah, this is Agent Coulson. Give me the director. We have a solve.
One of them Quake.
Oh,
Look,
smart
that guy
guy.
who had the gun to my head went flying. How did that happen? Your secret's safe with me.
Great.
Thanks, Gabe.
As long as you leave. And never come near my brother again. Robbie needs good people around him.
She is. Don't
That's
believe
not
her
you.
bad PR.
Whoever it is, they've declared war on the Inhumans.
Well, that's working.
Is it
Fear is
someone we
spreading like
know?
wildfire out there. How do we counter that?
Maybe it's time.
No, it's too soon, Phil. We have a specific plan for the rollout.
It's important to know when to throw out the plan.
Yes.
And you think this is one of those moments?
It doesn't
That's
seem like
for you
that's
to
a strong
decide,
suit of
Director.
his. Deviation.
Look, she's hurt and she's in danger and she's mixed up with that. I don't know what the hell it is, but it ain't good.
They're good for each other,
Man
I
on
think. No one believes it.
There shouldn't be any secrets between us.
Why not?
You're
There's nothing
spy.
else between us.
Called out.
All right. Has everybody seen this guy but me?
I think so.
He's a legend out there.
The Inhumans were not responsible for the recent blackouts.
Excellent.
They were caused by human extremists, hell-bent
Excellent.
on spreading fear.
Where's
Yay.
Daisy? Oh, I don't know. Fell asleep when I woke up, she was gone.
I have very credible sources that are telling me the Inhumans were responsible for the blackouts, despite
This
what
isn't the
Jeffrey
angle
may
I would
say.
take. I would say, how do we know they're not Hydra still?
Give me some good news.
But you're anti.
Even though S.H.I.E.L.D. managed to turn on all the power, we were able to eliminate 17 Inhumans worldwide.
Good.
No.
Good start.
Come on, I can't read upside down.
You want me to turn it off?
Who's that? I'm gonna go back and see if I can read the mail. I don't think you can. A. I can't read it. Was that someone like? I mean, it looks like what happens right before you turn into an Inhuman. Who would that be? I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to know or if we're gonna find out later. But whoa, okay, so this could have been a lot worse, and they did what they needed to do in very high stress situations with not a lot of their usual go-to methods, because all of their fancy high tech was out the window. Of course, you've got an innovative person like Fitz taking it back old school to the scouts to, find compasses, and really just aligned it and got them exactly where they needed to be. That was really cool. And on the flip side of that, you've got Radcliffe, who, the stuff he's working on is really advanced. And even them, when they were in the dark, he still had something that he had been working on in Ada, that power source, clean energy, anti-electronical, or you couldn't use EMP on it. Thankfully, oh my goodness. Okay, maybe I'll give Radcliffe a modicum of leniency because he just saved May, and I am very grateful. But I still think that whatever he's doing with Ada needs to be highly looked after. And Simmons didn't see her. She just saw the power source. I wonder if she'll have questions after the fact. But all of this stuff, and they're usually so good about, as far as I can tell, they're usually good about like the science being as good as it can be when you're dealing with stuff that doesn't exist yet. But in terms of the medical side of it, you cannot shock a flat line. It has to be like VTAC. So I don't think that would actually work. You would think they'd have like some adrenaline or something. But they needed to use that power source to, maybe garner favor with Radcliffe, because at this point I've been very wary of him. And I'm not necessarily not still, but I will give him points for saving May. I will, because I love her, and I'm so glad she's better. So an interesting thing to have the watchdogs pretend to be extremist Inhumans when really they're just trying to root out the Inhumans that are signed to the Accords. So, that shows you right there, like you do supposedly everything you're supposed to do. You sign up, you let people know where you are, and that makes you a target. Those lists in the hands of bad people it's dangerous. And I think it's completely reasonable to not want to sign them. But I'm glad. I was worried, I really don't have a feel on Jeffrey yet. And so I was, waiting to see if he was going to acknowledge that the Inhumans had nothing to do with what happened. And he did. So I'm very happy about that. He also listened to Phil about not wasting any more time and getting S.H.I.E.L.D's name out there. I think it's a really curious thing to think about, because it seems like they're really hitting vigilantism really hard this season. But you can say that's what S.H.I.E.L.D has been ever since they've been in the shadows. But it's organized vigilantism, but they weren't, sanctioned by anybody. The only, check and balance they had were themselves. So, it can be like anything. It can be a good thing or a bad thing. When it is a vigilante situation, you do have to rely on the ethics of the person that's doing the crime solving stuff. And that can be, I'm usually of the mind, if you have a code, you're pretty good. But, there are different levels of what people are okay with. And in this world where there are powered people and the crime is elevated in such a way, like when you got Avengers and Humans and eventually X-Men, normal people or, powered people are going to step in and intervene because humans are pretty outmatched. You see how effective Yo-Yo is when they were, they didn't have the numbers, they didn't have the weapons, and still she's a power person and could just completely distract them, take their weapons, and have everyone else move in. And that just gives them the advantage. So I don't have an inherent problem with vigilantism, but it's, it's a slippery slope like most things are. And everybody should have a check. And I don't think that Daisy and Robbie are necessarily bad for each other. But, people have heard, Gabe heard what he heard about Quake. And everyone doesn't really know what to make of Ghost Rider. So it doesn't seem like people want them to be together. But I'm compelled by them. I think their dynamic is really interesting. And I think they could be good things for each other. Although Daisy has now left. But they would have been a good check on themselves. Because it is important, especially if you are participating in taking the law into your own hands, of however you want to say it. But you have to interrogate your reasonings and your biases and everything, and it's good to have someone else help you check yourself. And loneliness is not going to help them. Daisy needs someone to help her pull herself out of this. And Robbie seems very, I don't know, even if because, he made mention of what he's been trying to do to get rid of the ghost. I don't know if he's Ghost Rider or the other guy's Ghost Rider, or they both considered Ghost Rider. I don't really know how to talk about them, but he says that he's tried to get rid of it by doing good things or dealing with his shit and dealing with other people's shit. And now he's trying to help deal with his uncle's shit, which is tied into these ghosts and the Darkhold and all of that, because he worked at that facility. So I don't even know if that's enough. It seems like it would be like a for life type situation since he sold his soul, but I don't know how metaphorical he's being there. So it's hard to really gauge what exactly his deal is, but I'm very intrigued and I really like him. I like Robbie and Daisy. I like them maybe romantically. I don't know. It's too early for that kind of talk, but I already like their chemistry more than Daisy and Lincoln, R.I.P. Lincoln, but it is what it is. So we'll see. I don't think she really needs to be in a relationship right now anyways, but I like their dynamic. I like what they can do for each other. So now S.H.I.E.L.D. is out, and we've already got resistance to that. Whoever that lady was, whoever she was talking to, I guess that is part of the investors of who is backing the Watchdogs right now, because like they said, it's gone global, and the Watchdogs were very local. So yeah, this is some anti-Inhuman bullshit, but we need to get to the bottom of it because they're not going to stop here. Like they said, they got 17 of them. So to them, that was a successful mission, even though it could have been a lot worse, and they were able to stop it before it could get even worse. So, this was interesting. This was unexpected. I didn't think that something like this would happen right now, just because there's so many things going on. This seems so out of nowhere, but at the same time not, because it's rooted in what they've been dealing with the anti-Inhuman sentiment, and that's not going to go away. And I feel like that is a huge part of the show and will continue to be. So I think this is just what they have to deal with. Interesting though. I think this is really interesting how they're playing off of Civil War and the Accords and everything. So I really like how they're handling it. But there's just so much going on. I'm almost like overwhelmed by it all. But I like all of it because it seems like it's telling a big story that eventually is going to snap into place for me, which is something Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is so good at doing. They really have their seasons planned, and it just, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, they were setting this up episodes ago. They're always so good at that. So I'm excited to see it all unfold. But this was very unexpected, but enjoyable. Although I do have some quibbles about the science. But yeah, I thought Yo-Yo handled herself really well. It sucks that her friend would not even deal with her, and then the other one was like, it's her, like, fuck you. But I can imagine there's like quite a bit of people just being told, or you know the fear that they were dealing with May. I think it's probably paralleled in just society right now, because with all of these Inhumans coming about, people are afraid, and these type things happen when people make decisions based on fear. So it's unfortunate, but it's kind of human nature. So I'm glad that, you have the people that are working in S.H.I.E.L.D. and working with Inhumans and trying to show people that it's not everyone. There's going to be bad actors with any kind of group of people. There are terrible human beings, but we're not saying all humans are awful. And it's just, unfortunately, so hard to get people to understand that concept. So we'll see how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ends up handling it, how S.H.I.E.L.D. itself ends up handling it. And yeah, I'm really, really, really liking this season. If you can't tell, I've already said so many times, but I really like what we're doing. I feel like we're playing with a lot of themes, a lot of important topics. And, S.H.I.E.L.D's kind of, even though it's in the light now, it's kind of all over the place. All of our agents are just, I just want Daisy back. I want Phil to not just be off and away. I want him to stay. I want him to be the director again, even though I don't know, he doesn't want it, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen again, but it just feels wrong. But like I said, I can't really fault Jeffrey for anything he did in this episode. So, or, for that matter, Radcliffe, who is also someone I've been judging. So we'll see. I'll play the ball where it lies, and I won't assume anything. But I am, I'm cautious about them. They've got to prove themselves to me a little bit. But so far, relatively so good. Even though Ada, I'm concerned about Jeffrey in the way that maybe when push comes to shove, he won't act correctly about Daisy. So we'll see. But yeah, this was a very interesting episode, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back soon.